Sorry for the delay, but we had a little traffic issue. First of all, I want to thank you all for coming tonight for this press conference. Ms. Affa, Candida Affa, the other council person who is not standing here with us, you can see we're all standing here in unity. She could not be here tonight. She had a prearranged engagement out of town, but she said she is with us 100% in spirit. So let me read from the press release. Purpose of this press conference is to clear the air about recent stories that have been circulating regarding an incident with Councilperson Mota, Garidi, and the mayor. Since the City Council scheduled a special meeting on February 20th to consider the appointment of a managing director and city solicitor. Prior to the meeting, Mayor Pawlowski confronted Councilpersons Garidi and Mota in the room behind council chambers. Mayor Pawlowski confronted Mr. Garidi in a threatening tone. Ms. Mota heard the verbal confrontation from the bathroom. Upon leaving the bathroom, the mayor confronted Ms. Mota. Mayor Pawlowski, evidently presuming how she might vote, told her he saved her life in Venezuela and questions why she is voting with Darrell Hendricks. Confrontation was described as threatening, bullying, and intimidating. The mayor slapped Ms. Mota's arm during the confrontation. The confrontation was witnessed by Mr. Garidi. Ms. Mota had a prior engagement and had to leave the meeting early, so Mr. Zuckel, Councilman Zuckel, escorted her to her vehicle. This was the second threatening incident that occurred on city property between the mayor and Ms. Mota. In the first incident, the mayor confronted her after a vote, which did not go his way, and Ms. Mota feared at that time that the mayor was going to strike her. Councilperson Affa reported a similar incident to council during last year's Black History Month. An award was given to City Council for their support. This infuriated the mayor, who questioned why City Council would be given an award since they do not deserve it. Ms. Affa took exception to this, and as they were taking the elevator to the 5th floor, the confrontation escalated to the point where, when they arrived, people from the 5th floor solicitor's office, as well as someone in the 5th floor conference room, came out to the hall inquiring to see if everything was okay. During the confrontation, the mayor also attacked her voting, Ms. Affa's. There were additional incidents experienced outside City Hall by Ms. Affa and Ms. Mota. City Council wants it to be known unequivocally that it will not stand for such behavior in City Hall or outside of City Hall. It is unacceptable for elected officials or city employees to act in this manner, and just as importantly, be subject to this type of behavior. We need to be a model, and although we may disagree, conduct ourselves in a civil manner. In that regard, the Human Resources Administration and Appointments Committee, chaired by Ms. Affa, along with Mr. Zuckel and Ms. Mota, will work in conjunction with the Human Resources Department, Human Relations Commission, and others to review, revise, and develop appropriate policies to ensure people in the workplace are not subject to this type of behavior. They will report back to the full council in 6 months. City Council is making a commitment to ensure that harassment, bullying, and intimidation are things that city employees and elected officials should not tolerate or fear. Thank you.
So are there any charges coming?
At this point, we don't know.
So what are we doing here? What's just making an announcement about what happened previously?
As I stated in the beginning, there's been a lot of speculation, there's been a lot of blogs, there's been a lot of things floating around about it, speculating about this incident. We're confirming that this incident happened along with other incidents.
Has it been reported to authorities? Is there an authority that is investigating this incident?
It has been reported to.
Has not or has?
It has been reported internally, and we're gonna see from there.
Internally to the city?
Yeah.
Okay, to the city.
Yeah.
So you're contemplating pressing charges if it's in the authority's hands?
It's not up to me to press the charges. It would be up to the victims to press the charges, but that would come at an appropriate time. I'm not gonna make that announcement now.
When you say city authorities, do you mean administratively or do you mean police?
The police department is aware of it, and so is the Human Resources Department.
And what the review is going to entail is a review of the policies or the incident?
No, the City Council Committee is going to review the policies that we have in place here to ensure that things like this do not happen again.
Okay, and is there a timeline on that? Is there a timetable on that?
The committee, chaired by Ms. Affa, will report back to the full council within 6 months.
I spoke to the mayor about 15 minutes ago about these alleged incidents, and he said that it was absolutely crazy to think that something like this actually happened. Do you have a response to that?
Well, we've got two council people that saw it, one that felt it. He can say it's crazy all he wants.
Can you elaborate at all on what the policies are that will be under review? Like, is it like, having to do with like being by yourself in City Hall, or what are you looking at to tweak basically to make sure it doesn't happen again?
That's what the committee is gonna look at. They're gonna look at what the policies are in place in the city, review that, and then look at those, review them, and then come back with any sort of recommendations that they may have.
Just general behavioral policies,
Yes,
basically?
Yes. I mean, they are there in place, but is there something that needs to be updated? Is there something that needs to be tweaked?
Would the councilwoman talk a little bit about how she felt in that situation?
At this point, she's not gonna make any comments.
Is there any reason to believe that this has anything to do with his trial that's going on right now, and this was any politically motivated?
Well, we figured that would happen, but no, this has absolutely nothing to do with the trial. And I've said many times from here and out in the public that the criminal justice system will handle that. We're gonna deal with what we need to deal with here. We don't all agree on everything all the time too, but we try and act civil, and we're gonna expect the same.
Knowing that the jury hasn't come back yet one way or the other, do you guys have any comment about the outcome of the trial and?
Absolutely not. No, this isn't about the criminal trial. This is about what happened here, right back there.
I mean, I don't have to make comments. It's totally separate issues.
Right.
And are these two separate incidents isolated, or is this part of a larger pattern of behavior from the mayor?
Well, we have at least 3 incidents.
But are they recent incidents within the last year, or does this go back even further, this pattern of behavior?
Well, Ms. Alpha is on council for 2 years.
Uh-huh.
So the incident that with the award during Black History Month goes back to.
Does any of it precede 2015?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Actually,
Maybe.
The issue of bullying goes back a long time. I mean, I've been in council for 17
Okay,
years,
thanks.
and I can tell you like since 2015. There was an accusation last year in regards to bullying by Eugene Matofe, who couldn't be here today as a matter of fact, but he and I spoke about this whole issue. He's very concerned as well.
If you guys have been so worried about the mayor's behavior, how come there's been no charges pressed at this point? Now we have 3 alleged incidents on our hands.
Because now it's enough.
So it wasn't enough the first or second time?
It's enough. One time is too much, okay? Some people, and I'm not speaking for anybody else, some people might have just said, okay, it's part of doing business. It's not part of doing business anymore. That's what we're saying. Okay, thank you.